Welcome to my short little Yin Yoga tutorial. A couple of Yin Yoga poses that can help to target the hamstrings, quads, IT band, hip area, just to kind of, loosen up tight muscles, sore joints, and send, fluid to the joints where it's needed to allow for more mobility. That's why I love Yin Yoga, because it really just helps to relax areas that seem very tight, nothing else can get to. So typically what I like to do personally is hold each pose for about 2 minutes. 2 minutes is a good time frame for me. When I do that, usually it has time to kind of start to release the muscle and lengthen as it holds. So for purposes of this video, I want to go through a few poses. So I'm going to just quickly show you some different poses. We're going to switch a little quicker than the 2-minute mark. However, feel free to go back and hold a pose as long as you'd like. If there is certain ones that you want to hold longer, certainly understand. So the first pose I'm going to get into is deer pose. And for that pose, you're going to start with one side. I'm doing my left side first in front. And you basically just put your leg kind of at a 90-degree angle. And then the one in the back is similar, only it's, to the side of you. So from here, you just will hold the pose. It's very important to have deep breaths so that you can enjoy the oxygen and the air coming in, and send it mindfully to the areas of the body that are causing you a little bit of pain or tension. When you breathe in and you mindfully send it, it will go, and you'll find that the muscles are loosening up. You have less tension and a little bit more mobility. And again, as you hold the pose, you will feel the muscles letting go. If you'd like to go deeper into a pose, feel free to lean forward. You can lean over one or the other leg. If a pose is too tight, feel free to, change it. Maybe you want to, just sort of kind of put it up a little closer, use whatever you need to use to try to help yourself, listen to your body, because your body really is important, and it will tell you things so that you can know how to help yourself. I strongly believe in healing the body from the inside out. Listen to it and it will talk to you. Okay, so after you hold this deer pose on one side for approximately 2 minutes, a little more, a little less, it's fine. Then what you want to do is you just want to transition out of it. So you may want to lift the back leg, bring it over. And a good thing to do in between is maybe a butterfly pose. Just bringing both feet together, a little flutter of the butterfly wings, and just loosen up the legs so that you can go to the other side. You'll notice the river in the background. It's a beautiful day. I thought, why not come out here and do this? Okay, and then you just switch to the other side, the other leg in front. In this case, my left leg on the side. And again, you need to just lean into it or to the side. Whatever your body is calling for. Okay? So after you hold the deer pose on each side for approximately 2 minutes, another thing that I like to do, this one is called the dragonfly. And this one, first of all, is going to be more of a full leg stretch. Okay, so you're gonna kind of open your legs. For me personally, I don't really do the splits, so this is not really a stretch that I always feel comfortable with. However, if you need to, bend your knees so that you can stretch into it more. Because what the dragonfly will do is it'll allow your hips, your hamstrings, just kind of to loosen up a little bit. And then just lean forward as far as you can. It's not important how far you lean forward. Again, if you need to use a block, feel free to use a block. You know, lean on it. Use it and just kind of stretch and do what you can. It's all about really just stretching to your ability. You're not competing with anybody else. You're not in some sort of a competition. This is just to help your body so that you can have some relief from tension. Okay, so the dragonfly you would hold again for a couple of minutes. You'll notice as you stay in the position, it will start to feel less tense. And if you can go into it further, by all means, that's when you do it. You know, you take a deep breath in. When you release out, breathe out loud if you need to. Just let it out. And you may find at that point you're able to just relax into the stretch even more. Okay? All right. So the next one that we're going to do is going to be the modified saddle, or otherwise known as the hero pose. What I'd like to do before we get into that pose is just bring our legs up and kind of just wave them back and forth, because sometimes it will help to do the yin poses, but sometimes you just kind of need to reset. So as you wave your legs back and forth, just feel your hips kind of stretching, and that's kind of a good feeling after you've had some of those poses for a couple of minutes. You know, it helps you to just sort of reset. Okay, so the modified saddle, what it is I'm going to use a block to demonstrate. And what you're going to do is you're basically going to sit on the block. And you're going to have your legs back. Sometimes this hurts my foot, so I don't always like to do this one. But we're going to do it for today. I'm going to power through it. And as you sit back, you can always lean back into it with your hands. If you're super ready to do a flexible bend, you can lean back on your elbows. That might not be as easy to do with the blog as I'm finding out right now. I really like to just sit down and lean back if I can. It's a lot better stretch for me. And you'll find when you do that, you're really feeling it through here in the quads. I know a couple workouts I've done, yeah, my quads were like super sore and achy for days. So this is a good one to really target that area. Okay, so again, just either stay like this or lean back into it. You can even lay back if you really want, but just hold the stretch for a couple of minutes. Again, it's the modified saddle or the hero pose. Okay? Another one that really gets into the hip area, and I find that this one's done very frequently, not just in yin yoga, but all yoga, is the pigeon pose. So typically, you know, you can start from a downward facing dog, or you can just get into the pose like this. I like to start from downward facing dog, and then lift up one of your feet and just bring in the leg. Some people will do it like a 90-degree angle with their front leg. I'm not quite that flexible, so I just sort of position my leg like this. I don't even always have myself on the ground here. I try to, but the important thing is just really trying to get in a position that's comfortable for you. Again, if you need a block or a rolled up blanket to support you, the important thing is just really stretching this front leg. So once you get down, you can either stay up or you can go down and use a block here if you'd like, you know. The thing is just holding this stretch as long as you need to release the tension. Okay? And then when you come out of it, then just kick the leg back up and go back down into your downward facing dog. That'll help to release the lower back in between stretches. Okay, same thing on the other side. Again, this is the Pigeon Pose, very popular in yoga. And just lean right into it. Get comfortable as much as you can for a couple of minutes. Okay, and hold that. After that, sometimes people will like to kind of incorporate a stretch here. You can pull your leg back. This really gets into the back torso area, which does stretch the quads as well. Again, it could be a little bit too much depending on where you're at, how your body's feeling. Don't push yourself, you know, just do what you feel comfortable with. Okay. Another stretch that's very helpful is the crescent lunge. So I'm going to show you here, if you get into a downward facing dog, lift one leg up and then bring it through your hands, okay? From here, I'm going to have to stay kind of low because of my video. But what you're going to do is basically hold a lunge and you can just sort of raise your arms up. This targets through here and gives you a good stretch throughout your hip area. Again, you don't have to hold this for 2 minutes, but it does help to stretch out your legs in different areas that you need to. From here, you can do a lizard stretch. The lizard is kind of the same in a way as the crescent lunge. And from here, you just kind of put both hands down and lean the leg out. So you're in like kind of a lunge position, but you'll see that my side of my foot, well, maybe you can't see it with the camera angle, but the side of my foot is kind of the thing that's touching the ground, you know. So I'm holding myself with my arms and I'm really stretching this area. You can actually even push your leg with your hand, stretch it even more to give yourself a good stretch through your legs. Okay, so that's the lizard. If you're really super flexible, you can come down to and hold your pose down there, which will give you more of a stretch in your bottom leg, you know, whatever you want to do. Okay. Okay. All right, I think the one I showed you before was the cat pulling its tail. So that was basically like this from our Pigeon Pose. And then, oh, you know what? Actually, it's not. I just remembered what it is. So it's kind of a similar thing to the one that we first did. I can't think of it. The deer pose. But the cat pulling its tail, put your leg in front, and then you just kind of pull your back leg towards you. So it's a little bit deeper stretch than the deer pose. Sometimes it can feel a little uncomfortable, you know, if it's tight in there. And any of these poses can feel uncomfortable if it's tight. So just, you know, like I said, do what you can. Don't stress about it. We're not like in a yin yoga race to try to do a stretch better or longer than somebody else. You know, we just do what we can do for our body. Okay, and then the last thing I'm going to show you is a twist. This particular one, just some twisted stretches. I personally love twist because I feel like that really just wrings out the muscles and helps to get air and fluids in where things might be stuck, you know. And we know when things are stuck, it creates like a mess of toxins and just unhealed energy and just kind of like a clog, you know. I think about it like a clog in a drain, you know. If you don't kind of move things through and allow it to kind of process, then it's going to get stuck. And then you're gonna find that you have like a back pain all the time, or a shoulder pain all the time, or like hip pain all the time, because things get stuck in your body. Energy is supposed to flow, and when you have an issue that is caused by whatever, a lot of times it could be digestion, sometimes it could be emotional things. When they get stuck in your body, if you don't figure out how to work them out, then they stay in there, and then you carry that with you day after day, and it just compounds. So a lot of times I find like focusing on the area that's giving me problems, or trying to mix it up, if I try to do something different, if I try to like change up my day, that change will give you new proteins, new neurons, which will help you to like reprogram your mind, so you're not stuck in the same cycles over and over. Because what happens when you get stuck in the same cycles? Nothing changes, right? So if you're not happy, things are bad, things are sore, things are not going the way you want them to, you have to change something. You stay in the same cycle, nothing will change. Okay? So back to my twist. Kind of got off on a tangent there. Okay. So what I'm going to do so you can see me is I'm going to just show you my left leg twisted over my right. Okay? So I started out my leg on one of my legs on the ground, and then I just lift up like this. And I'm just going to lie down, spread my arms out, and just twist to one side. Okay, this really helps the back. It also targets the hip area. And you can hold one leg and kind of make the twist a little bit better, a little bit deeper. Okay? And then you come out of it. Just make sure you do both sides. As I was doing this, I'm looking up at the beautiful sky, realizing what a gorgeous day it is today. God, I hope you enjoy it. Hopefully these stretches will help. Just a couple different ideas to get in the hip, quads, IT band, hamstring area, and yeah, hopefully it helps you. Take care.